Hello and welcome back to another Coach's Commentary. We're taking a look at the 2024 season, and this is Game 3 against Three Lakes. Let's get into it. So, again, the Algoma Wolves, conference champions, 7-1 overall record, number 2 in the state for takeaways, scored 36.2 points per game, over 1,000 yards passing, 14 passing touchdowns, 1,654 rushing yards with 22 rushing touchdowns. Very successful year on offense and defense. And when we take a look at Three Lakes here, you can see how the game went. Having some consistent scoring for us, and some statistical highlights. We had team offense, 129 passing yards for 1 touchdown, 308 rushing yards for 4 TDs. Had some really awesome rushing plays here that I'm probably going to be cackling at like the Emperor in Star Wars. Parker Lishka, 193 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaac Yunk, 134 total yards and 2 touchdowns. For team defense, gave up only 158 total yards, which is pretty darn good, especially when you're thinking about high school football. An 8-man high school football. Had a takeaway, had a sack, and Lane Koshart had quite a game at linebacker there, 12 total tackles. He got the interception. He also got the sack. So let's think about going into the game here. Okay? Three Lakes, they only had 2 losses the previous year, and both were to the state champions in Florence. They graduated a lot of guys, though, and I think that probably shows. I think they had like 10 seniors, maybe 8 or 10 seniors, if I'm remembering correctly, and a lot of them were very, very good. So this is a totally new team for us. We're unfamiliar with their scheme, unfamiliar with how their coaches kind of call plays. If they get upset, do they blitz more, or in what situations do they usually throw, stuff like that. Things that we are used to when it comes to our conference games, where I keep track of that stuff. So again, it's kind of one of these like one-off games where it's like, hey, we got to put our best foot forward to make sure that we come out on top instead of them. We had a long drive. Three Lakes is, I think it was about 3 hours, maybe a little bit longer. So again, how are we going to handle traveling and all that stuff? Do we kind of stop halfway there to stretch our legs? We did end up doing that, and we ended up winning, so maybe that was a good idea. When it comes to scouting their offense, after I took a look at their game, broke down the film and things like that, broke down their formations and stuff, it became pretty clear that, I could predict probably with some pretty good accuracy what they were going to do based on the formation and the motion that they were having. Okay, so getting the guys trained up to be prepared for that was really important, so we focused on that a lot when it came to our defensive day. And then when it scouted their defense, different than what we usually see, they ran a 3-2 defense, which other teams run 3-2 defenses. But they played some zone, which at this time, none of the teams in our conference played. So it was very rare to see zone defenses, and we're seeing a little bit more now in 2025. Some of the teams in our conference are starting to play a little bit of zone, mainly like cover 2. So we could still attack that pretty well, but these guys, they played a lot of cover 3, and they made it very useful for us, where they didn't disguise their calls. So when they're calling the defense from the sideline, or when the linebacker is telling the defense to their defense, they're like yelling out that they're playing cover 3. So that was very nice for us. Where for us, you could probably figure it out. However, we don't say like we're playing cover 2 or we're playing quarters or whatever. We have actual calls for that stuff. Okay, so let's get into the actual film here. And we missed the opening kickoff, which isn't the end of the world. Okay, and you can kind of see they played a little bit different of a defense, kind of like a 3-3 look, I guess, probably to cover all the gaps that we are presenting. Okay, so again, their defense looks kind of similar to ours, that we, when we are playing double tight teams. In the backfield, we got Lane Koshart, we got Isaac Yunk, Out wide here, we got Parker Lishka, and then we got Wyatt Fay. And then our offensive line, this is a nice play here. Gavin Belowski just knocking guys over. Running downfield. Okay, blocked 3 guys on that play. Okay, so we got Gavin Belowski at our right guard. We got JB, Josh Bennett at center. We got John Kirkman at the left guard, who's pulling here and doing a nice job there. And then Carson Leist at our, call it a blocking tight end, but really just a 4th offensive lineman. We felt that we could hit them pretty good, doing some weak side runs, especially when it comes to like traps. So you'll see some weak side runs, probably more than what we usually do. Almost lost the fumble there. I forgot about that play. But yeah, should be a touchdown here. This is 4th down. Run outside the trap block, run into our guard, and then instead of walking into the end zone, we turn over the ball on downs. Okay. But we moved the ball really well, doing some good things. Okay. We had a really good defensive year there. They fumble on their first play here. But yeah, we got running a lot of our 3-2 defense. Again, we were mixing it up based on the formations that they had. If they have, 3 offensive linemen and then 3 guys in the backfield, we'll play our 3-2, so we can have enough guys to take on the blockers, be solid against the run, but also pretty solid against the pass too. Okay, so do a little boot play, and we got a sack here, but we ended up face masking the quarterback. So I was jacking up John from the sideline. Where he loses stats because of him tackling too high. Yeah, we got John Kirkman and Carson Leist at the defensive ends. We got Big J Durst, number 65 there at nose. Lane Koshart is our linebacker. Our 2 safeties are Aiden Moen, who's a new starter this year as a junior. And then we have Joe Cabino. You see him rotating up at the other safety, where this is 2nd year starting. He's also a junior, so he was a 3-year starter for us. Really awesome. Moen was a 2-year starter for us. Also really awesome. Just one of those guys where he didn't make a lot of like crazy splash plays, but he's just like in the right spot, like almost all the time. So he's very reliable. You know what he's going to do. And when it comes to team defense, each person doing their 1/8, that's exactly what you want. You want guys doing what's expected of them, doing their job to the best of their ability every single time, and that's how you have good defenses. Okay, so the thing where I was kind of talking about in the pregame, with we pretty much knew what they were going to do based on the formation and the motion. One of the things that they like to do with their motion is wherever the motion went, that's where they were going to attack, almost always. Okay, so we were keying in on that. Yes, we get him to a 4th and short. Or, yeah, I'd say that's short. It's about 4 yards. 3.5. Yeah, we get some good pressure. If I remember correctly, we actually busted the coverage there. We got really lucky that he made a bad throw. Coming back to that end around 35 trap, whatever you want to call it. Got some good yards there, and we're on a roll. So we saw, but pretty much right away, we're moving the ball well. Do a nice job of getting after people. We like the matchups, our offensive line versus their defensive line. And again, they were a young team. They had a lot of sophomores. And we had 10 seniors on the team. Of course, not all of them started and stuff, but kind of at 2 ends of the spectrum, I guess, where we had a lot of older guys coming back, multi-year starters. And a lot of Three Lakes guys were kind of new starters. I think 24 was a returning starter. He is a defensive lineman and offensive lineman. Get a little underthrown ball there, and Parker makes a great adjustment. Gets that first touchdown there. So getting it to Isaac. Gets in there. So 8-0. Good start. Could have been, 2 scores, but it's football. Can't do everything perfectly, I guess. All right, so this is a similar formation to what we run. And again, you get that motion and then attacking where the motion is. Again, things are scouting, working out really well. Thought it was interesting where there's a Wisconsin Football Coaches Association newsletter, I guess, where they talk about like news that's going on for football, as well as lots of articles being written by coaches in high school, college coaches, stuff like that. I've written an article a couple of years ago about zone defense and 8-man, and nobody took my advice, which is totally fine. Like, we'll run zone defense and get all these takeaways every single year and stuff. But Three Lakes is, I think it was their head coach actually, wrote an article that was in there over the summer, where they usually publish like 2 or 3 of these newsletters each year. And he was kind of talking about like using motion to effectively attack. And I got a nice chuckle out of it because I was like, oh, that's how we knew exactly what you were going to do. So we get a punt here, kind of set up for a later play. Jay Durst doesn't even get out of his stance. In fact, no, I shouldn't go back because these are long enough as it is. But Jay Durst, nose tackle, didn't even get out of his stance for that punt. Got a nice chuckle about that in our film session. But he'll have the last laugh about that, as we'll see later. Okay, so, yeah, moving the ball okay. Get to a 3rd and medium. 3rd and 5. Yeah, outside run. Joe does a nice job kind of absorbing some of those tackles and getting away from it. Gets the first down, so that's a nice job by him. All right, we got a trap pass going on. And our cameraman is kind of asleep. We end up getting sacked. One of their returning starters, number 24. So we get to a 2nd and double sticks, 2nd and long. Throw it up. Parker makes a really nice catch there. Kind of got lucky with that corner coming off of Wyatt. And we get to a 3rd and long. Don't do a good job of blocking the D line, so that kind of messes up what we're trying to do. But we did another 35 trap. Camera guy missed the beginning of it, but got most of the play, and of course Parker makes a couple of guys miss, get the touchdown. Don't do such a great job of blocking there. So we're up 2 scores. Could have been 3 scores. Okay, squib kick. Good hands by 20 there. Alright, and we're back to it. Okay, so they're motioning. We get guys getting to the ball. This guy makes like 4 of us miss. It's a nice, 3-yard run. Like 3 or 4 broken tackles to get 3 yards. All right, QB run here. Getting guys to the outside. Not bad pursuing. All right, what do we got here? Another pass play, blitzed off the slot. And, you know, we're in man coverage, cover 0. We don't do that all that often. And we weren't able to get that pressure. QB was able to step up in the pocket, make a throw, complete a deep pass against us. And that play was one of, I think it was maybe like 3 receptions that Parker gave up all year. I think, if I'm remembering right, I think in conference play in this season, Parker gave up like 1 catch for like 8 yards or something like crazy like that. But yeah, we're getting some stops here, tackling high, which doesn't make me too happy, but we get him to a 4th down. We're playing some coverage. QB's rolling out. We're getting guys there. We get Yunk to drag him out of bounds and turnover on downs. Okay, so we got the stop. Made me happy, of course. And then we're back in business. So can't have any mess ups. Hitting the weak side here. Getting a couple of yards. It's not John Kirkman on the ground. He must have got pancaked or something. Okay, so back to the well. Another run by Lane here. We get to a 3rd and short. I'm going to guess we're going to give it to Yunk here. Yeah, just move in the pile. Get off me, son. Look how jacked everybody is. Bolowski's jacked up. We even get the stat girls jacked up. And stuff like that sends messages. You might think like, oh, it's like one player or whatever, but when a dude is dragging like 5 people and we're just like moving bodies and stuff, like that has an effect. It's like body blows in boxing or punchy, kicky sports. All right, trap play. Do a really poor job at blocking their D line. Should be a huge play for us, but didn't get the job done. Okay, back to trips. Throwing a little bubble. Not doing a lot to defend it. In the end, we're getting the ball in our most dynamic player's hands, and he ends up getting a nice first down there. But what did we have, like a holding on that? Or got moved back? I don't remember what happened. That was not pretty. Looks like there was quite a bit of confusion when it came to that. So we get to a 3rd and long. And going back to that end around, outside trap. Would have liked Bolowski to bury one of those 2 guys. But got the first down. Okay, pass protection. Throwing into triple coverage there, which is not ideal, especially when we had like 2 guys wide open on the play. I was definitely yelling at Lane and shaking my fist, and old man yelling at Cloud stuff. All right, so getting some pressure, able just to throw the ball out to the halfback, and they get decent yards. Okay, but again, that was the end of the half. All right, squib kick again. Getting guys to the ball. Looks like that was Nuge, the first one down there. He's good for that. Nugel, Meverton, Jack Schwader, with these guys as sophomores this year, really good players for us on JV, but also like great special teams players too. All right, here we go. And so in our 3-2 defense, you can see there are 3 offensive linemen, 3 guys in the backfield. Again, we make him cut it back inside. Lane's right there. And again, each of those guys in that front, 3D linemen, 2 linebackers, each of them doing their responsibilities. Everybody knowing what everybody else is supposed to do, at least generally. And that's where we can do some really special stuff on D. Okay, so we got some pressure there. That's good coverage by Wyatt. Okay, so here, Jay gets a block. So it was kind of a bad snap. Guy comes running up, tries to kick it, goes right off of Jay's leg. Got the old ham hock up there. So I think he was the only person who blocked a punt this year. So he can put that in, that feather in his cap and be like, hey, I was just setting him up, coach. Didn't even get out of my stance on their first punt, but then the second punt, get the block. Yeah, so missed the first part of the play there. Looked like it was our outside trap. Here we're so Lane's gonna like throw up kind of like this weird prayer to Young. He out jumps the guy and catches it. And then, of course, he turns to me and he's like, hey, I threw it to somebody else besides Parker, which is what I was getting on him about when he threw that pick, when we had 2 other guys wide open. So I don't remember what I did. I probably just like shook my head or wanted to like throw a water bottle at him or something. But get the touchdown. Okay, so we're up 3 scores now. All thanks to that blocked punt. Going to weak side trap, out of trips. Just barely getting to the end zone. Yeah, things are looking good. We're playing well. We're out physicaling a team. Refs are having a nice little chuckle about something. Alright, I'm skipping ahead here. Jeez, how much time is this between? Alright. Oh, we just totally missed the kick. Okay. Looks like our film person is kind of messed up the recording where they're recording all the in-between play stuff, but I think maybe that's the last time it happened, if I'm remembering correctly. Alright, we're back on track. How did he squeak through there? But Wyatt, good fill coming up. Tackling him low, getting into his hips, stopping his momentum. That's good stuff. But they got that motion, doing a pass play. This is Lane's sack here. Look at I'm jacked up. Brady Rogers was jacked up. He's doing his sumo squat celebration. Okay, so we get him to a 2nd and long. Okay, Moen does a nice job of keeping that outside, making him cut inside, and then he even comes up and gets the tackle too. It's a heck of a play there. Okay, so we get 3rd and long, double sticks, pass play, getting a good rush. They end up completing it. I think he like dragged like all the way across the field. Yeah, so attacking where they're motioning to, nowhere to go. Leist sheds his guy, makes the tackle. We get him to another 3rd and long. QB keeper cuts it up, and then, oh boy, yeah, we hit that quarterback out of bounds. So we give them a 15-yard penalty, which I was not happy about, especially because we were going to get him to a 4th down. Yeah, so all of a sudden they go from a 3rd and long, or like a 4th and medium, to at the 10-yard line. 5 yards. Run up the middle. Miss a tackle. They're going to call us for a horse collar there. Again, just penalties, and we're giving them a score. Could have had the shutout. We just couldn't help ourselves, getting multiple penalties. I think they end up scoring here. Yeah, punching it in. Yeah, stopping a team with 1 yard is tough. But it's the only score we gave up. And blew the coverage there. We're falling asleep from our corner position, left a guy wide open. Right. Not doing a great job of blocking here. Yeah, so they get us to a third and long, third and medium. Yeah, 3rd and 5 or 6 it looks like. Using jump off sides. Man, we just love getting those penalties right now. Just a loss of focus. What do we got here? This must, yeah, end of the quarter. So we're into the 4th quarter now. Go back to our bubble screen. Parker making guys miss. Didn't do a great job of blocking the guys on the perimeter, but said we try to get Parker the ball as much as we can. A nice gain, a nice run by Joe there. And if I remember right, I think we score on this play. Yeah, hitting them weak side, just running guys over. Hitting on the weak side again, ping-ponging his way through. Another good squib kick. They got a dive on it. No return. Back on defense. Yeah, let's get some stops. All right. Little pass play. Wyatt with a nice job coming up, getting the tackle. And with us up by a bunch, they can throw those curls all day. We're fine. Oops. Throws it right to Lane. Caught it. Got an okay return. Like to see him unhitch the plow a little bit there and run faster. But going for a kill shot here. Play action pass. They covered it well. End up getting the sack. Get a couple yards back, but we're at a 3rd and 10. Okay. Getting to the outside. Lane lead blocking. Yunk running guys over. I think we got the first down yet. Gave us the first down there. So we get 3rd and 10. Just a simple outside lead. Get the first. Ugh. Oh, look at John Kirkman. 15 yards downfield blocking his guy. Missed the first part of the play. I think it was another end around. Got some good yards on it, of course. Threatened to score again. Outside lead. Getting that final score for us in the game. Oh, Walker almost got that. Motioning. Jet. Got 2 guys there. Beautiful. That's the main reason why we rotate our safeties with those motions that go across the formation. We want to keep that outside leverage against them. That was definitely intentional grounding, but refs didn't call it. Good coverage there by those Jack Meverden, number 6. And then they're punting. It's us being zoomed in pretty good. There's... Whoa. Alright, so we got the JVs in. Got Malott running. I think we got called for holding there. Yep. Also getting the ball to Mev. Picking his way through, doing a nice job of blocking. Here we got the JVs doing some good things. And some rotational varsity guys as well. We got Brady Rogers at center. He watches all these, so want to make sure I get him shouted out. Never, 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 Jack Meverton. Never do that. And we got Dave T-Bon at blocking tight end. We got Pete Ritchie at right guard. Jay Durst is in at left guard, getting him some reps. Jacob Blonick at receiving tight end. Caden Nugel at our 3-back at the wing there. We got Jack Schwader at the 2. And Mr. Blonick with a catch and a first down, so we're keeping that clock running. Trying to get Schwader to the outside, gets a couple of yards, and he runs out of bounds. Sophomores, am I right? I got Malott carrying the ball again. Guys getting through the line. We get to a 3rd and short. We got, is that Hunter O'Hearn out on the in the slot here? Appears to be so. Yeah, and we're running clock. All right, trying to go weak side. Just run through that Malott. Malott from 2025 gets that first down. Or I guess he got the first down there, but he gets more yards. Where he puts his shoulder down and trucks a guy or two. All right, running clock. Ooh, that should be a false start on Jay, where he put his hand down and then he picked it up and put it back down. Should be a false start, but I'm sure the refs were like, let's get out of here. There we go, got some nice holes. Don't like that cutback. He had plenty of room to keep on going to the outside, but he fumbled and gave up the ball. So we turn it over. We got Preston Borths at defensive end here. This is the last play where Wilson gets his hat in front of the camera for some reason, but Jacob Blonick ends up getting a sack, and we miss it from that nonsense. That's too bad. Hey, but really good game against Three Lakes. Again, we had those some of those challenges and things where we're like, oh, we're not sure like exactly how things are going to go, but good teams. They kind of get past all that stuff and get the win, and we certainly did that. So good win. Having a 3-hour drive home would have been pretty lame if we lost, so it was good to win, and Aiden Moen to crack his skull open in the showers, where I'm sure he was messing around instead of the lie he told us about, like, oh, I just slipped. But we'll see. I don't know if Aiden watches these. I guess I'll find out if he, tries lying to me about, like, no, it actually was legit. I just fell. I wasn't messing around in the showers or whatever, but I need to stop now. So that's it for this one. We'll see you next time.